Police say that they tried to pull over a man who was driving a stolen truck, but they say instead of stopping, he took their officers on a two-city chase, crashing into one of their cruisers and then into a ditch. It happened around 1 this afternoon. It backed up traffic along I-20 near the airport exit. And Richmond police say they spotted the driver on Highway 49 in Richland. They say that the crash ended on on Airport Road near the I-20 exit in Pearl when that truck rolled over multiple times and landed in a ditch. Police say during that chase, the suspect drove into oncoming traffic, and they say an officer used his cruiser to protect the public.
But the suspects here, when you've got a violent felon, the question I've asked this time and time again, why is this guy not in jail? Why is it that he was arrested time and time and time and time and time and time again? I mean, we've got 10 charges, felonies here. Why is he out of jail?
Now, that officer was not injured. The suspect, however, suffered minor injuries and is currently at UMC recovering. Now, officers say the suspect has a long rap sheet. They say that he's also facing charges in several other counties. And now, right here in Richland, he's facing aggravated assault on an officer. Live in Richland, I'm Gabby Hart, 16 WAPT News.
Police chief seemed frustrated there, Gabby. Thank you. Well, now to a big rig crash that shut down I-20 for hours. Tammy, that truck actually snapped in half.
Yeah, that's right, Megan. That's what one of the workers on scene told me. Take a look at what it looked like from the interstate. Now, this is the area where you see these guys. This is where that piece snapped off of that trailer. Now, the guys on the scene told me that it was actually a piece of metal that broke in two. Crews called a tow truck company out and a welder to get that truck back up and running. Meanwhile, Jackson police rerouted traffic from Interstate 20 West to 220. Police say no property was damaged and no one was hurt. Well, investigation underway right now after a toddler drowned in an apartment swimming pool. One family member was in tears as she spoke to our own 16 WAPT's Candace Red.
He just turned 1 at the end of last year. He was just a baby. He didn't deserve to die like that.
Family members say baby Jeremiah Wade drowned Wednesday night in this pool at the Arlington Apartments on Ridgewood Road.
He drowned, but almost 30, 35 minutes to the tops. He was drowning, and we didn't know where he was.
Ruby Poston is the aunt and says the family searched the apartment for the little boy when he went missing.
He pushed open the door, and I guess he slid through the little gate thing and jumped in the pool. He floated to the top. And they saw his head, and when they got him, it was too late.
Who do you think is responsible for this tragedy?
I don't know. I mean, I can't blame the manager, too, because we should have kept him in house.
I'm sorry, are you the manager? Yes. Okay, we just wanted to know, why is the pool not drained or covered up?
Ma'am, excuse me. It was an accident. It probably was just God calling him home.
In Jackson, Candace Red, 16 WAPT News.
Well, the prosecution rested today in the embezzlement trial for Jackson Partners president Ben Allen. Now, Allen's attorney says if there was any embezzlement, it was done by the corporation, not Allen personally. Hinds County DA Robert Smith disagrees. Now, today, former state representative John Reeves took the stand. Reeves says if there was any mismanagement of funds, Allen would have known about it.
And I trusted him. I had no reason to not trust him at that time.
Are you aware that he was responsible for writing checks at DJ?
Ben ran the show completely.
Hinds County DA Robert Smith is helping to prosecute this case. Now, he tried to get Allen's son, Matt, to testify. He says Matt helped his father with legal matters. After a meeting with both sides, the judge decided Allen's son did not have to testify. Well, Megan's sentencing delay in the corrections corruptions case.
Tammy, a judge will sentence former state legislator Cecil McCrory tomorrow. He was scheduled to be sentenced today. McCrory pled guilty to money laundering conspiracy 2 years ago. Prosecutors say he was part of a bribery and kickback scheme involving then prison commissioner Christopher Epps. Epps is in jail waiting to be sentenced. McCrory faces up to 20 years in prison. A tough talk before diplomacy. President Donald Trump's conversations with world leaders are raising eyebrows and some questions about how he's handling U.S. relations with some of our closest allies. 16 WAPT's Sally Kidd is live at the White House tonight. And Sally, the president says there's nothing to worry about here.
Well, that's right, Megan. President Trump says too many countries are taking advantage of the U.S., but even some Republicans are questioning his approach. Just 2 weeks into his presidency, and President Trump is shaking up relationships with world leaders around the globe.
It's time we're going to be a little tough, folks.
Putting Iran on notice for test firing a ballistic missile. As to what on notice means?
Nothing is off the table.
I wouldn't put them on notice. I would go to the Congress and say it's now time to punish Iran.
The president also getting tough in a call with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, berating him for a refugee deal negotiated by the Obama administration. According to the Washington Post, the agreement, which the president calls a dumb deal, allows the transfer of refugees from Australia to the U.S.
Why? 1,250, could be 2,000, could be more than that. And I said, why? Why are we doing this?
But the reported tone of the call concerned Republican Senator John McCain enough that he called Australia's ambassador to offer reassurances.
This, in my view, was an unnecessary and frankly harmful open dispute.
He's doing kind of amateur hour stuff on matters of significant national importance.
Still, others are not concerned.
I think it's important that presidents and prime ministers, heads of state, are able to have candid and private conversations with one another.
Now, meanwhile, the White House denies that it's easing sanctions against Russia. This after the Treasury Department amended sanctions to make it easier for U.S. companies to export certain electronic goods to Russia. Live at the White House, Sally Kidd, 16 WAPT News.
Sally, thank you. President Trump used today's National Prayer Breakfast to take a jab at the man who's now hosting his old reality show.
We had tremendous success on The Apprentice, and when I ran for president, I had to leave the show. And I want to just pray for Arnold, if we can, for those ratings, okay?
The president is talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is now the host of Celebrity Apprentice. Schwarzenegger fired back.
Hey, Donald, I have a great idea. Why don't we switch jobs? You take over TV because you're such an expert in ratings, and I take over your job. And then people can finally sleep comfortably again.
Schwarzenegger posted that video on Facebook. He, of course, served as governor of California from 2003 to 2011. Well, Tammy, we are less than an hour away from an open forum for Jackson mayoral candidates.
Yeah, it's being hosted by Agape Church. Now, organizers say they expect everyone who has signed up to run to be there. Doors open at 6 o'clock tonight, and anyone can attend. The primary election is May the 2nd. Well, Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann says his office has gotten calls from people worried about voter fraud. Officials say the calls started after President Trump claimed widespread fraud kept him from winning the popular vote in the election. Now, we asked Secretary Hosemann if there are any documented fraud cases right here in Mississippi.
No, Mississippi has voter ID, and 99.97% of people showed up with an ID. Now, if a dead person showed up with an ID, I don't even think they would vote.
Now, the federal government did not send any poll observers to Mississippi. Secretary Hosemann says that's one sign that no fraud happened here. Well, JPD charged 2 teens as adults for a robbery spree, Megan.
Here they are, Tammy. 2 of 4 teenagers, police say, robbed a man while he walked his dog near Chickasaw Circle. Our cameras caught police arresting the group. Officers say the teenagers stole a car and led police on a chase last night. All 4 of them are facing armed robbery charges. $10,000 bond for the suspect in a restaurant robbery. Investigators say Stephen Brown robbed the Greenway Drive IHOP Tuesday. Surveillance video showed him pulling a gun on the clerk, at least the man police say is Stephen Brown, demanding cash and then leaving before coming back a second time. Officers also charged Brown with a carjacking that happened a few hours earlier at the Quality Inn. Well, tonight at 10, a 16 WAPT special report. Microblading. It's sort of like a tattoo for your eyebrows. Customers are turning to the procedure as a longer-term fix to get fuller-looking brows. But we found out the process could be costly and dangerous.
Between $500 and $600 is probably what you can expect to pay. If it's much less than that, I would be pretty worried.
Sanitation and cross-contamination and things like that. So it can be really dangerous to go to someone who isn't familiar with those things.
And you can learn more about the price of beauty tonight at 10 in our 16 WAPT News special report. Turning now to the weather, rumor is, David, you had a furry little visitor over here. In
That's
the
right.
Weather
Well,
Center.
we kicked off today on Good Morning America and with our morning team where Punxsutawney Phil.
That's right. Saw his shadow.
He saw his shadow, which means 6
more
more
winter.
weeks of winter.
Yeah,
well,
but I don't believe him.
Groundhog Dave. There it is. No shadow. Early spring here in Mississippi. No surprise there. But Dave did tell me that there might be a chilly snap or two, but look for early blossoms of spring.
I've always liked Dave better anyway.
All right, well, we got some cool air coming in, and I'll tell you how cold it's going to get.
All right, David. Campus protest. Workers cleaning up this damage after students rallied against a political speaker. And executive orders. We take a look at President Trump's first acts in office. You're watching 16 W.
This is 16 W.